Hello everybody, I'm TheSweetPro27 and welcome to another Dokkan battle video. We're here in Limitless Radiance Super VEGITO's Dokkan or EZA event, and not his Dokkan event. He is weak to Transformation Boost. We have a full Extreme STR Transformation Boost team, collecting all of those, wanted to do those on screen. And this will be kind of the same video we just did for the Super Boo. I'll just be talking over what the EZA does, kind of his point, while this will just run off on the background. This will be a much shorter video because this team is able to just outright kill this VEGITO in like under a minute still. So this VEGITO, his only purpose, really, is if there is a boss who has normal attacks that other characters struggle to deal with. That is this guy's whole purpose. And like with the new upcoming Sen Shenron event, his AoEs deal like 500k per hit. Excuse me, I have to cough. So this guy will able to be just destroy him, but he gets destroyed by super attacks, and you'll see why here in a second. So his super attack effect is he causes immense damage to the enemy, and then he raises allies' attack defense by 30% for one turn. That includes himself, I believe. So if you get two super attacks, that's that's a 60% buff to himself and the rest of the team attacking the same turn, which makes you think you want to put this guy in slot 1. However, I don't think he's a good slot 1 unit. So looking at his passive here, damage, he gets 80% damage reduction and counters with tremendous power. So each time he gets hit by a normal, this is like what almost every Super VEGITO does. This is what the STR LR does after he transforms. This is what the Int LR does after he transforms. This is what the AGL TOR did. So they all have some level of like damage reduction. Well, the TORs have damage reduction. Meanwhile, they all counter with tremendous power. This guy's stats are very low. His counters do almost 0 damage. If you watch showcases of them, even when he's fully built up, they do almost 0 damage. So this guy is not doing damage. His whole purpose is just to tank normal attacks. So after the damage reduction, he gets 150% defense. He gets 20% attack with each attack received up to 120%. He has a medium chance of performing a critical hit. He gets 1 key up to 3, and an additional 30% defense up to 90, and a chance of performing a critical hit plus 10% up to 30% each time he receives a third attack in battle. Wow, he is way worse than I thought he was. So, when he gets hit 6 times, his attack is fully built up, and he has to be hit 12 times to get the extra 90% defense and 30% crit chance. Okay, that's bad. So I guess his passive really does want you to throw him into slot 1. Because that's where normally the most attacks are. Normally, not always. Obviously, it depends on the boss you're fighting. I don't know how I feel about that. Crit, I mean, the crit is nice because his damage, again, is so low, and you always want crit on characters who do counters, just so you can, like, really take advantage of that extra damage each turn. So I guess that's fine. Looking at his link set, he has Super Saiyan, Prepared for Battle, Fuse Fighter, Power Bestowed by God, that kind of sucks, but it makes sense. Fighter, Golden Warrior, and Fierce Battle. And again, he's on some weaker teams. Majin Buu Saga, Patara, Super Saiyans. Super Saiyans does not need help. Final Trump card won't need help after the Blues EZA. Battle of Wits is good. Accelerated Battle and Fused Fighters. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't do much. And because his stats are so low, like really all he gets is 150% defense. Yeah, he can get an extra 90% defense, but he has to be hit 12 times to do that. This guy is not taking super attacks from, like, any boss in the game. So, the problem with throwing this guy in slot 1, especially in, like, the Sen Shenron event, which is, like, everyone's talking about this guy as a Sen Shenron event killer, Sen will almost always super attack in slot 1. Almost always. Very rarely have I seen him attack in slot 2, and I've seen one video of him attacking in slot 3. But like 99% of the time, the very, very first attack he does is a super attack. And his super attack does a crazy amount of damage. You can't put this guy in slot 1 for that. And none of the teams he's on really needs a dedicated slot 2 unit. Like Majin Buu Saga, you're going to be putting the physical SSJ3 or the Buu duo. I remember I said I would start calling them the Majin Buu duo. But the Majin Buu duo is SSJ3 Goku, SSJ2 Vegeta. Potara, I mean, I guess you could have him on Potara. He's going to be a floating unit, I guess. Because he's not doing enough damage to warrant him being a main rotation. He might take up the role of, like, Ant Hercule, where you throw him in slot 3 and he can eat everything. But he's not as good defensively as the Ant Hercule, because Ant Hercule... Hold on, can I pull up Ant Hercule real quick? I want to look at what Ant Hercule does. He's under Majin Buu Saga, I think. Because he's from the battle on the Supreme Kai planet. There we go. So looking at him, he has... So this is the Ant Hercule passive. He has... So his passive is he has a high chance to evade enemies' attack, including super attack. That's a 50% chance. Reduces damage received by 50 to 90%. The less HP remaining, the less damage received. So when you're at like 10% HP, this guy's going to have 90% damage reduction. I would run Ant Hercule, the universe's bravest Hercule, over this guy. Because I can more easily, I can put Hercule into any slot and not have to worry about a super attack. And they're both doing the same role, doing no damage, and their whole purpose is just to eat attacks, except Hercule can actually eat super attacks, and there's a 50-50 shot he'll even have to eat the super attack, because he has that dodge built in. This set he's terrible. Like, I'm looking at this, like, even when he's fully built up, his counters do, like, next to nothing. He does, like, maybe a 3 million attack stat, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with characters having weak offensive stats. I really do love defensive-oriented characters. Like, one of my favorite characters, this isn't the best example, but one of my favorite characters is the Vegeta and Trunks unit. And, like, while they can do a lot of damage if they're fully built up, normally they're, or at least for me, they're around, like, a 5 to 7 million. Like, maybe, like, a 4 million at the start of battle and, like, a 7 million by the end. While, like, you have other units on the team who are launching, like, 10 million, 12 millions, 13 millions. I mean, there are some characters who can get into, like, the 25 millions. Like, it's crazy how powerful some of these units are getting. I love characters who can just sit in slot 1 and I can rely on that they'll take no damage. There's, like, him. There's the Bird Coup. I love Bird Coup. I mean, I really do love, like, UI Goku and his dodge abilities. I've run UI in a lot of events without leader skills, and he hasn't sold for me. The Int Pan... and Super Pan, I love her because she does the same thing. She just dodges, and she's also a support. I guess you can say this guy is a support, but if his main... Because everything contradicts itself. So because he can't take super attacks, and he isn't good enough offensively to be... So he can't take super attacks, so he can't go in slot 1. And he's not offensive enough to go into slot 2. So you want him in slot 3. But he needs to eat attacks to build up, and his super attack effect is to support all of his other allies on the same turn. So, I mean, you can throw him in slot 1, you get eat with an instant super attack and you're dead. You can throw him into slot 2, and then that could be where the super attack is and you're dead. Or you can throw him in slot 3 and be much more safe with him, but then you're getting none of the support, and he's never going to get built up at all. So he's just going to be a pathetic unit. I don't know. This guy is a lot worse than I thought. I've heard a lot of people talking about if he just had a scouter, he'd be one of the best EZAs in the game. Maybe even like one of the best characters in the game, like top 20. And I would agree with that. Because then if he was like always safe, like you never had to worry about... Like his one downside, truly... While the rest of his passive isn't great, his one downside is that he cannot take super attacks at all. If you could give him a scouter, and then you could guarantee that his one weakness not being able to take supers would never affect this guy, yeah, genuinely, he'd be like a top, I would almost say like top 15, maybe. Because he wouldn't be better than like the GT duo. Even the Boo duo, I don't think he would be better than them. But having just that concrete, perfect defensive unit, that's what he would be essentially if you would know exactly where everything was going to be, but he's not. So this guy's kind of trash, honestly. My opinion on him is soured after like really deep diving into what he does. But that doesn't, again, I don't even have this guy in my box. I did this just for the stones. So by beating this and the Super Boo one right up here, that's 60 stones plus 4 for the missions. So that's what, 68 stones we got by completing both of these. We're making this number a lot bigger when we go back for the summons for the GT duo. But that will do it for this episode. If you enjoyed, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And leave me a comment down in the comment section below, positive, negative, or indifferent. I would love any sort of interaction. But I have been the SweetBro27. I have a TikTok, a YouTube, and a Twitch, the links of which can all be found in the description of this video, or you can find me via my hashtag SweetBro27, and all my platforms should show up there. But that will do it for this time. So as always, I have been the SweetBro27, and I am signing off.